Tonight, first, DOJ prosecutors have urged a federal judge to hold lawyers for Donald Trump in contempt of court because prosecutors say that Trump's team continues to stonewall prosecutors about any other classified documents that still may be outstanding. The Washington Post reporting that Trump's legal team has repeatedly refused to sign a document, even now, promising that all classified materials have been returned to the federal government. Trump's team unwilling to designate what's called a custodian of records to sign a statement, while at the same time giving unsworn assurances that all the documents have been returned. This coming just after we learned that new searches found that additional classified documents were in a separate location, a storage facility. The second big story on this investigation: the former president has decided not to appeal to the Supreme Court a lower court order that put an end to the so-called special master review of documents seized from Mar-a-Lago. Last week, a federal appeals court ruled that U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon was mistaken when she ordered the appointment of a third party or special master to review all of the documents retrieved from Mar-a-Lago. Their decision not to appeal would mark the end of a months-long legal battle and will allow now the Justice Department to push forward with all the documents in their investigation. Joining me now is Tom Dupree, former Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney General under the George W. Bush administration, and Bradley Moss, a national security attorney. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so Bradley, let me start with you. What does this tell you? I mean, this contempt hearing where the Department of Justice, it's a big deal for the Department of Justice to be asking that Donald Trump's lawyers be held in contempt of court, is going to be held in a secret, it seems. We don't know exactly what is going to be argued, but the Washington Post reporting and others reporting some of the details. How big a deal is it, and what does it tell you?
Sure. So it's a significant escalation, Dan, and according not only to the reporting from the Post, the New York Times, but according to CNN, the contempt is not just of the lawyers, but of Donald Trump himself, that the government has moved to hold him in contempt, that they have not complied with this May subpoena from the grand jury that required the return of all the documents with classification markings. Look, we know that they've had problems for months on this. We know they went there in June and documents were turned over. There was the declaration from the lawyers, and it turned out the government had developed additional evidence. There were more records they knew of. They got the search warrant, and of course, they found the other records. We know they've done these additional searches now under pressure from the court, and again, they found more documents in a storage facility this time. So clearly, if the government is still pushing this, they've got something else. I don't know what they have. They must have submitted something to the judge. It would have had to have been in that court filing seeking contempt. It would have had to have been the judge, if she's ultimately going to rule in their favor, that there are more documents. Here's how we know it. This is why you should hold them in contempt. They have not complied.
I mean, Tom, this is kind of insane, right? I mean, the whole reason that the government went into Mar-a-Lago with a search warrant is because this subpoena from back in May wasn't adhered to. And now it sounds like DOJ is saying, and they still haven't abided by the requirements in that subpoena, right?
Dan, I would put the latest events squarely in the category of insane but not surprising. I mean, look, we all kind of knew that we would probably get to this point, at some point in this process. The thing is the problem that the Trump team faces here is that they are going to be hard-pressed to find someone willing to sign this certification that the government is demanding, saying that all the documents have been turned over. If you are asked to sign something like that under potential penalty of perjury, signing under oath that all the documents have been gathered up and sent back to the government, you better be darn sure that you're telling the truth. And I think it's a fair assessment to say that there's no one on the Trump legal team at this hour, at least, who is willing to put his or her name to such a certification.
And so what does it mean when they're asking for contempt, Tom? I mean, does this mean that they're asking the judge to start sort of fining the lawyers or Trump every day that they don't get what they want? I mean, is that what they are likely asking for?
That would be my best guess. I mean, that typically would be to sanction in what's known as a civil contempt proceeding.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.